Hey guys, it's me Seren back with another video. So this video is going to be about Kanye West making headlines again. He has made headlines a lot this year, hasn't he? He recently put up, maybe it was last Friday or Saturday. He recently put up a casting call for his Yeezy Season 4 clothing line. So he put it up on Twitter, and he put up this picture that said, Season 4 casting, multiracial women only, no makeup, please come as you are, Sunday, September 4th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., Jack Studios, blah, 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 New York. So immediately, this got people all up in arms. People kind of immediately split into two camps. You had the one camp that was like, what the fuck, this is anti-black as shit, like you're basically saying, mixed girls only, no black girls. And then you have the other camp 2, people that fell into that camp that are more or less the supporters of Kanye West, that said it doesn't say no black girls, it basically says no Caucasians, or like it says no white women. They felt like multiracial was like a gentle way of saying no white women. And then you had this whole conversation that kind of sprung up that was like, and, if you feel like him saying multiracial only is him saying no black people, you're like completely erasing the identity of mixed race black people, and it turned into this whole big old thing. Now, I feel like the casting call saying multiracial only is anti-black as fuck. And the reasoning why I feel like that is because I don't feel like the casting call, number one, the casting call does not say no Caucasians. If he wanted it to say that, it would have said that. So I actually have a Twitter thread that I put that I want to read you guys, because somebody said, all it says is no Caucasians. That's it. That's all it says. And I'm like, it also says he doesn't want any regular black people, like he is, but you got it, right? It doesn't say that it wants regular black people. It says multiracial only. And then I went on to say, if all it was meant to say was no Caucasians, then it would say no Caucasians, but that is not what it says. And yes, you can have darker skinned, multiracial black people like Tyson Beckford or Yara Shahidi, who I mentioned in my Colin Kaepernick video. And then I said, but to say multiracial only is weird. Hamilton put out a no Caucasian casting call that said no Caucasians, and I have a video about that. It got people all up in arms because it said they specifically wanted, non-white. They wanted no white people. That is not what Kanye's casting call said. So the fact that people are turning it into, it only says no Caucasians. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that anywhere on the casting call. It says multiracial only. It doesn't say no Caucasians. That is not what the casting call said. Kanye's casting call says no regular black folks, right? And people are hilarious to me talking about, no, it just means no Caucasians, because if Kanye wanted to say no Caucasians, it would say that. Like, Kanye says exactly what he means. It doesn't say that. It says multiracial only. And yes, that excludes Caucasians, but it also excludes your regular black ass making excuses for his regular black ass. If it's multiracial only, Kanye West can't come to his own damn show because he has a black mother and he has a black father, right? He has a fully black mother and a fully black father. He is a regular black ass nigga, so I better not see him walking down the runway of his own fucking show at the end waving and smiling because it says multiracial only on the casting call, Kanye. You're excluding yourself. Like, the casting call does not say no Caucasian. It says no regular black folks. And I do want to say that this isn't just a black people thing, and I said this in my Twitter thread as well, because we had almost this exact same conversation on Tumblr when Big Hero 6 came out. And I made a video about it, and it fucking blew up, and the comment section blew up, and I still to this day get notifications on Tumblr about that conversation. And the conversation that we had about Big Hero 6 was that a lot of full, aka regular, Japanese people expressed concern over the fact that so often their representation in the media is in the form of mixed individuals. Because in Big Hero 6, it's insinuated that Hiro and Tadashi had one white parent and one ethnic Japanese parent because their aunt is a red-haired white woman. And the same exact thing that happened, and it's happening with this Kanye thing, happened with the Big Hero 6 thing. And that's like outrage from mixed race people claiming like that they're being picked on, like, oh, so you're saying that we're not real Japanese and that we don't deserve representation? And it's the same thing now. Oh, so you're trying to say that mixed race people aren't black? And you know, I just did a video on how I feel like mixed race and biracial people, especially ones that are visibly black, they present as black, they read as black, they are black. Like, yes, they are black, but that is not what this is about. You're pretending. You're being intellectually lazy. You're being willfully ignorant. You're pretending that this Kanye thing is about excluding mixed race people from the black conversation somehow, and that's not what it's about. It's about the fact that Kanye is excluding regular black people. It is not about anyone trying to exclude mixed race people from the black conversation. It is about Kanye himself specifically excluding regular black people, which he is, from his casting call. That is anti-black. That is anti-black. That is it's about the insinuation that mixed race is better than being fully ethnic. And again, that was the exact same conversation that we had with Big Hero 6. The insinuation that the fact that they're, you know, mixed with white, it sends a certain message, it sends a certain subliminal message. And there is a lot of messaging and conditioning, especially in mainstream media in terms of representation, that does, you know, kind of imply that being mixed race is better than being fully ethnic, and that makes you more worthy of representation, especially when you're mixed with white. And that is what the outrage over Kanye West's casting call that says multiracial only is about. And the casting call does not say no Caucasians. I wish I would stop saying that. It's dumb. It doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. And if you wanted it to say that, that's what it would say. But this is a conversation about representation. So often, you know, the message being sent that, you know, you can't be too ethnic, you can't be fully ethnic, you can't be fully black, you can't be fully ethnically Japanese, you have to be kind of mixed with something else to be worthy of representation and to be acceptable, and to be acceptable in mainstream society, you know. And that goes back to colorism and the way that systemic oppression affects mixed race black people differently than fully black people. Again, stuff that I kind of got into a little bit more in my Colin Kaepernick video about how, you know, light skin privilege, white passing privilege, you know, all those things are very real. And so to pretend that none of that stuff exists and that all the casting call says is no Caucasians is silly, it's ridiculous, it's very willfully ignorant, again, because that's not what it says, you know. And again, it's very funny because you have somebody like I'm trying to think of like a good example. You have somebody like, for me, like a lot of Blasians come to mind, because when I was growing up in like the late 90s and the early 2000s, Blasians were really big. Like Tyson Beckford is like half black, half Asian. Tae Heckard is like half black, half Asian. Tae Heckard is like a dark-skinned black girl with like very traditionally black features. Like, she's dark-skinned, she has big lips, she has heavy hooded eyes, and she has slanted eyes. But even still, that kind of her face reminds me of Eve, who's fully black, who has two black parents, right? So Tae Heckard could go to the casting call, but Eve could not, even though they resemble each other in the face. But Eve is not multiracial, so she can't go. Like, that's a problem. That's problematic. Like, it's problematic. Like, there is anti-blackness there, and we all know that Kanye struggles with reconciling his blackness with the kind of art that he wants to create and his inspiration and creating within the white gaze, which I have a whole video on. So I find it, I'm not surprised by the casting call at all. I find it very telling that he wants a casting call of multiracial people only, you know. Is really, really interesting. And I was thinking more about, you know, something I wish I said in my Colin Kaepernick video too, is that Zoe Kravitz, who's very, very light, or not even Zoe Kravitz, Riley Curry, right, who has two black parents, very pale, very light skin, red hair, green eyes. People would say that, like, she's black, but Tae Heckard, who's half black and half Asian, but who's dark skinned, is not black because she has an Asian parent and a black parent. And Riley Curry, who is light, who's going to face less systemic oppression than Tae Heckard because of her appearance, because she's light skinned, but she's fully black. So people would say that she's black and Tae Heckard is not. Like, there's a lot of levels there are a lot of levels to blackness and to genetics, but that's like not what Kanye West is doing. Kanye West said multiracial only. It was very, 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 very specific. And when Kanye says multiracial only, you know what he means by that. So let's like not pretend and make excuses and pretend, oh, all it says is Caucasian. Like, no, that's not what it says. If he wanted it to say that, it would say that. But that's not what it says. It says multiracial only, which again excludes him from the conversation. It would exclude me. I'm not multiracial. I have 2 black parents. Like, to me, people are making it about no Caucasians, but for me, it's more about excluding fully ethnic people. So like fully ethnic Japanese girls cannot go to that casting. Fully ethnic non-black POC, like Hispanic girls that are not black, they cannot go to that casting. It's not about no Caucasian to me. It's about excluding fully ethnic or regular ethnic. And that again just furthers this idea that mixed race is more worthy of representation. It's more ideal, it's more beautiful, it's more exotic. And that doesn't have to be mixed race with white either. Now, of course, if you're mixed race with white, you're going to be higher up, in the hierarchy of white supremacist beauty ideals and the types of perks and privileges that you're going to get. But the idea that mixed race is like, oh, it's like so cool and exotic, and I can't wait until we're all mixed race, which Kanye West has said in the past in interviews, and that a lot of people have said, like, I can't wait until we just like all get all mixed up and we're all mixed race, and like that's what's gonna end racism. Like, well, number one, not all of us even want to be mixed race. A lot of us are fully content with being fully ethnic or regular black or regular ethnicity or race. A lot of us are fully fine with that, and we don't want to be mixed, and we don't see anything. It's just we don't see anything special in being mixed. And this, again, it's just kind of furthering the fetishization of mixed race individuals and the idea of mixed race as something special and different, and again, more worthy of representation. A lot of the representation that we see on screen already of black people and of ethnic Japanese and of most of the representation that we already see on screen of people of color and especially black people is already people that are mixed race, like Zendaya, who's mixed race, Yara Shahidi, who's on Blackish, is mixed race, Tracee Ellis Ross, who's on Blackish, is mixed race, Alexandra Shipp in X-Men, who is mixed race. We already see certain, representation in terms of if you're black, and especially if you're a black woman, like already there's this subliminal idea that it's better to be mixed race. So people making it about like no white people or no Caucasians, I feel like they're doing that on purpose. Like, again, they're being willfully ignorant because that's not what it's about. It's about furthering the fetishization of mixed race individuals, especially mixed race black people, especially mixed race black women, because it said multiracial women specifically. It didn't say multiracial people of all genders, multiracial men. So for all we know, he might have fully black men cast in the show and multiracial women only. He asked for a very specific thing, and it didn't say no Caucasians. That's not what it said. You guys are being silly, like, by saying that. Like, he's furthering, again, the anti-black idea of regular black is, like, less than. It's better to be mixed race black. That's what I got from the casting call. Again, we had the same exact conversation around Big Hero 6. Like, this is not a black thing specifically. Like, I mean, of course, it has really deeper roots and meanings in this country because of the context of slavery. But a lot of the times where the white supremacy works, that's for, like, many people of color. If you're, like, mixed. What is her name? Olivia Munn? Is that Olivia Munn? Or one of them Olivia's. She's mixed East Asian and white, and yet she gets a lot of roles as playing, East Asian representation on television. That's, kind of this idea that Kanye West is pushing with this casting call. So that's how I feel about it. The insinuation is that too often representation of people of color is in the form of mixed individuals, and it sends the message that full black, full ethnicity, regular black, regular ethnicity is not good enough for representation and doesn't deserve representation. And that's a conversation that we can have, and that's a conversation that we can have without claiming that mixed race people are not real Japanese or real black. because it's not about that. Yet again, there's a lot of privilege that comes in that type of response and insisting that you need to be centered in the conversation, and you have that privilege because you are most likely a mixed race individual with certain types of privilege because of how you look. Like, but that's not what it's about. Like, it's not what it's about. It's about the insinuation that mixed race is better than being fully ethnic. And that's just how I feel about it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Food for thought as always. See you guys next time. Peace.